Um, but let's get into it right now. Something Lamar Jackson talked about in a press conference, his first press conference since the week before the Bills game. And Lamar talked about, he kind of wants to step up in his vocal leadership. And in our first live with the viewers, we were talking about somebody asked a question. It was a great question. They asked if you could bring any player back that was a former Raven in their prime, who would you bring back? And I ended up changing my answer to Ray Lewis not because Ray Lewis is the best middle linebacker of all time, but because he's the best leader of all time. He would be able to be a guy that could come in and really voice himself, motivate everybody else, inspire people to do all of these things. And I'm not saying the Ravens don't have leaders, but it doesn't seem like they have vocal leaders. And there's two types of leaders. Obviously, you can be Lamar's not a vocal leader. He talked about he kind of wants to become a vocal leader, but Lamar's a lead by example kind of guy. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the type of leader you are. A lot of great leaders are lead by example guys. However, on the team, you have to have a guy that can hop in that huddle and inspire everybody on that football team to be great. I know Lamar, he'll be on the sideline and he'll say things like, "Oh, get us the football, man," and we'll do that. And yes, that inspires the defense, but I'm talking, you got to be able to get people to run through a brick wall for you. And the Ravens don't have that. I think, ironically, I think one of the reasons why the Jaguars brought in Tim Tebow was because Tim Tebow is one of the best leaders in sports history. He's not going to be a very good tight end. He may not even make the team, but he's going to work as hard as everybody else, maybe even harder, and he's going to inspire people to win. Ray Lewis inspired everybody to win. If you're a Ravens fan and you've never listened to any sort of Ray Lewis speech, I'm going to need you to go do it right now. But in particular, you got to listen to the Ravens speech after they did not make it to the Super Bowl after the AFC Championship game. I mean, just Ray Lewis, basically telling everybody, and he's just that type of thing the Ravens don't have. We don't see anybody, they had like Mark Ingram, big trust, hyping people up. But there was nobody after that loss that was like, kind of like Ray Lewis. And it's been a while since I've watched the speech, but Ray Lewis basically talked about, everything's in God's plan. Yes, we fell today, but we're going to be able to come back stronger than ever, and all those types of things. There wasn't any of that. I feel like after that, their heads were in the dumps. They didn't have a vocal leader like, no, get your head up. It's part of the process. We're going to be out here. We're going to do better. Instead, it's just kind of silent. And then, they get back to training camp. And obviously, Lamar's like, I want to win a Super Bowl. And again, this is not taking shots at Lamar. But I think we do need just that vocal leader that's going to inspire everybody through their words, not their actions. Because you don't have to be a star player to motivate your team. But Joshua, what are your thoughts on that? I've been rambling for like 5 minutes. What are your thoughts?
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. When I said, what can I say? No, I'm gonna be real. When it comes to leadership, is definitely a thing that that's not given or handed down. It has to be in you. So with Lamar Jackson actually saying that he want to take the role of being more vocal, I can see it happening. That's the crazy thing about it. I can really see him taking that next step. Like he's already taking those steps in his game, and it has been improving. So with this being contract year, this still being another year with him in the NFL, being 23, want to make it to the Super Bowl. He excited that he has new weapons and things like that. He's this is the second year in the offseason where he has traveled, with some of his core guys and worked on, passing tree routes and things of that nature. I think you actually can see this young man taking that step and becoming that, that vocal leader. I mean, granted, I think like Pernell McPhee, maybe Adam Levine, guys like them was in the huddle in the middle, but those are veteran guys. Yeah, they're respected, but they're not those high profile, veteran guys, you know what I'm saying? It's different. It's different from a Terrell Suggs or Amos Dumerville. Even Calais Campbell, getting in the middle of the huddle. I would actually like to see more of Marlon Humphrey in the middle of the huddle, getting those guys rowdy, getting those guys hype. He's one of those star players that that gets you going. So we definitely have been missing that leadership, that person that people get hype about. It's almost when I listen to Eric Thomas, he's a motivational speaker. That gets he helps me actually gets my day going. He gets me motivated. I'm like, dang, let me put tomorrow behind me. Today is the day. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna tackle it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna do better. And even when we had the Bart Scott years, we had Bart Scott. Bart Scott would get the guys rowdy, but the C.J. Mosley, and after that, it's been a different Ravens vibe. Granted, we go out there, we play, but I feel like now with this core, we're about to see that that 2000 and on vibe, where them guys is really out there playing for each other. Because shucks, when Ed Reed came on the scene, he got in the middle, man, and you had two guys together like that, Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. We don't have that yet. Maybe the Joker takes over, or maybe it is PQ and Marlon Humphrey. Maybe it's their time to shine, or maybe even Malik Harrison. Maybe outworks LJ Fort. So it's so many guys that can step up and be that that leader. That can be that that man that you follow into battle. But at the end of the day, y'all have to be able to show it, and it also has to be in you. And you can't be scared to let it out of you. You can't worry about, what people may say. They, in the religious faith, they talked about Jesus Christ and everything, and Jesus Christ still did what he did and went on. They talked about Muhammad Ali. They talk about Malcolm X. They talk about Martin Luther King. They talk about Joe Biden. People that believe in Trump. They talked about Trump. As a leader, you're always going to be talked about, but you're going to be respected by so more because you stand on your foundation. You stand on what you truly believe in. So, I definitely feel like it's that time. It's that time for Lamar to step into that leader, that vocal leadership role, and lead his troops into battle. They already want to follow you into battle. Hey man, you ain't got to talk that much. Give them 30 seconds. Heck, if you want, play some recording of somebody else's speech, let's go.
Yeah. Get something out there.
Yeah, man. I definitely feel like it. We've seen more of him. We've seen his growth because even with the 4th and 1s, we stand on the field. Keep the kick team, keep the special teams off the field. We going for it. We starting to see more of that. So I think the evolution of Lamar Jackson as a leader and a player, we're gonna see him hit another plateau this year.
Yeah, in vocal leadership, it doesn't even have to be the best player. I think a guy that could potentially do. I bring up this guy a lot. I'm a huge fan of him, Dalen Hayes, just because not only is he's a great guy and things like that, but growing up a Ravens fan, I feel like it's just that much more emotional when you get to play for the Ravens, and that could really help. But I think you brought up a lot of great examples of terrific public speakers and things like that. Guys like Martin Luther King Jr. He didn't invent the ideas of equality. He didn't invent that. People had the ideas before him, but he was able to inspire people. He wasn't, he became the face of, the movement, and things like that. And obviously, you go farther, you get into obviously present day, and political races are meant to inspire people. You look at race and political races don't work as well. But, you look at, like kind of like what Obama did, in running for office and things like that. Like you know, a lot of times people don't invent their ideas. I'm going to have a really bad analogy. You know, not in terms of like it's a bad analogy. I think it's a great analogy, but it's a bad person. And I don't want to, I'm sorry, people. If you do not want to listen to me kind of give props to maybe the worst person ever, end the video. Thank you for watching.